Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Sam Zagar, and I am currently being blinded by the light. I don't know what I look like in this, and I don't really care. It feels so good. I read this person's intake form before popping in, and I loved the directness of it. Please read me my four transformations like a storyline. And if you could weave in anything about my incarnation cross, I'd appreciate that. And also, do my channels have much to do with it? Okay. What do I have? And so really, okay, the emphasis is on the four transformations. The bonus is the incarnation cross, and the meh is kind of the channels. So let's talk about the four transformations for this person. I also want to acknowledge that this is our first pure generator that we're reading for. I say we as if I'm a multiple entity thing. This is the first pure generator that I am reading for. And we don't have feelings cognition, we have smell cognition. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so one of the first things that stands out to me about this person is how left they are. I have a left and active brain. I have a left and strategic mind. I have a left and focused view, but I have a right and passive or observer body. As I point those things out, I'm always going to kind of highlight like, oh, there's a bit of might be kind of interesting to navigate these two things at once. Sometimes you have two things of information and it feels like they conflict a little bit, but they don't. It's about understanding the information in layers. So, what I want to acknowledge right now is the right variable that this person has is the passive or observer body type in their environment. This is a dry kitchens environment person, but this is also a pure generator. I have a pure sacral person in front of me. I'm also dealing with someone with single definition, as in all of their pieces are connected together. I only have three defined centers. So for a generator, this is not a lot of definition. I've got a couple things are standing out to me. With only two channels, the channel of power and the channel of rhythm, both of them are consciously defined. That's nice. Now, the channel of rhythm is also unconsciously defined. So I have two channels, but in a way, it's almost like I have three channels because I've got conscious, conscious, and unconscious. So I've got multiple, like, okay, with the channel of rhythm being twice, it's almost like having two strains of the same thing. I've got two apples, but one's a Mac and one's a Gala. That's kind of how I'm looking at this a little bit. And it's so funny to be like, here's this channel and let's talk about food. Here are food examples of this one. Gate 5, in many ways, is considered the gate of the gardener. The gate of the gardener is like a poetic way of saying this is the sacral side of somebody who can lock in a pattern. Now, also, if you were to pull up the design of a plant, Gate 5 is kind of missing from a design of a plant. And it's as if to say when Gate 5 walks up to a plant, it becomes the gardener of the plant. Now, Gate 5 is also this person's conscious sun gate. 5.5 is their personality sun, 35.5 is their personality earth. This is what gives them the 5 in their 5-1 profile. Now, again, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit because that right variable, passive in their environment, when you squeaky shoes, when you explain what it is for someone to be passive in their environment, it's like this. Now, that's not to say that everybody who's passive in their environment has like, chair potato, couch potato stuff going on. It's the level of tension that comes out of the person's body. Like there's a relaxation to it. I'm not right in my environment. All of y'all that watch my videos, I'm like this all the time. Like I hair in my face. Don't know where it is, can't see. But I'm very like I got a six pack, but I'm like a rigid kind of like bracing. I'm splenic. I'm always bracing for like the fear or the panic or the third line. I'm bracing for the crash. Like, but there's an active in me. There's a tense in me that comes from my left oriented environment. Now, what's interesting is you put a left me projector next to a right generator. I'm going to be like more like rigid, more tense in my actual physicality. Whereas this generator is going to be less tense, more relaxed in their correct physicality. But that has nothing to do with the actual energy that comes out of us. I'm a non energy type. They are a real energy type. Like they are the core of energy. They are the number one sustainable, renewable resource on the planet for energy. That's what sacral definition is. But I have this like kind of, and she's like, yeah, bring my channels into it if it's relevant. It's definitely relevant. Like, it's absolutely relevant because I'm like, oh, pacified body, energy type, one motor. Like, I have a motor too, but I don't have a regenerative, consistent, sustainable motor. I've got an ego that's like, yeah, maybe I will if you recognize me, right? Like, and so it's interesting because if you put me and this person next to each other, if you put us in a room with people that don't know anything about human design, have never met us or anything like that, in many ways, I could come across as more energetic than this person because of my all leftness and my one motor. And in many ways, we might assume that this person's energetic. We're like, oh, sacral being, they have energy, energy type. But it's like, how much energy though? Like, truly, how much energy? One, sacral motors, it's not like they're just pumping all the time. They give in response to things. So as long as she's consistently engaging in her response, there should be a level of sustainable energy there. And when she runs out for the day, she goes to bed. Like, that's how sacral beings go to sleep. When you're tired, you go to bed for the day. What does it actually take to get this person feeling? And then again, I'm like, they do have gate 34. Like, we've got the gate of power here. And so sometimes with the right response, there is like a that can come from this person. Like, there's a really intense hit of energy that can come from them. But it's not like it's on all the time. It's not like, and like this person is never going to come across to me as hyperactive. Neurotic, maybe. That's a different thing. Physically hyperactive, no. Mentally hyperactive, really good chance that's a yes. I've got an active brain and a strategic mind and a focused view. Thinking, 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 planning, planning. What am I looking at? Thinking, thinking, planning, planning. What am I looking at? This is a person who, when they, open head, undefined ajna. What's inspiring? I don't know. What's inspiring? I don't know. Keep thinking about things. Maybe we'll find something. Maybe we should focus on this thing. Oh, okay. So just in that, I'm like, ooh, I just want to like kind of acknowledge for this person, like, does it feel like your head's getting away from you sometimes? Does it feel like this part of you actually moves way faster than like the physicality of you? And when this is going really fast, what's it actually not thinking about? It's not that what it's thinking about is relevant. It's like, is it able to think without initiating? I'm going back to the beginning. I'm just going to weave through a little bit. I've got my active brain. I wake up in the morning. I'm very busy. Think, 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 think. Fourth color, calm determination. This is interesting because I have a brain that is very, very busy, needs to eat frequently, high calories, no fasting, but calm determination. Not overstimulated in the outer environment. This is someone who does not like a lot of outer stimulation. It's an interesting thing because they definitely like a level of inner stimulation because they are active. But and it's not, again, it's not the environment per se because their environment is kitchens, but it's more like the well, it is the environment around them. It's the circumstance of the environment around them. Circumstance is the significant word here because when we're talking about upper trigram determination, we are talking about circumstance, not ingredient. I don't want this person to be worried so much about what they're eating. I want them to be worried about how they're eating. Like, I'm thinking if this person has the ability to wake up fairly early and alone, they probably want to like deke out to their kitchen. They probably like to get up early and go hang out in their own kitchen where they can control the environment before other people get involved. Now, I don't know what this person's home like is life or what their family like is life. Maybe they live alone. Maybe that's just how it is for them. But if they don't live alone, there's a very good chance that they are like kind of withdrawing a little bit away from everybody else so that they can have that peace and quiet kind of in the morning so that they can honestly actively think about whatever they want to think about. Now, the more that this person respects what their brain needs, fast online, chill circumstance, feed me frequently, don't starve me too much, don't crash my blood sugar. When this person is taking care of themselves to this level, they turn on a quality of smell cognition. Now, smell cognition being a number one, it's a foundational cognition. It's like, can I trust this? Is this secure? Are you lying to me? Like, I smell a rat, something smells off, something smells not trustworthy, not true. And then when I think about the ones, I'm like, this person is a first line body. They're also a first line body within their nodes. We have a one for their cognition. I have a first color within their view, survival view. I'm getting a lot of one from this person, like quite a bit of one energy. And so, really, when I think about that, like the more they respect their brain, the more it kind of just turns on this one quality in them, which is being hyper aware of the foundation. And even if I back away from that, it's like it's hyper aware of what can be trusted and what can't. So, this person develops a really incredible relationship with trust in general when they respect themselves. But then I'm like, yeah, like one of their channels is a channel of power. 57, when I look at gate 57, I'm like, the quality of individual trust in this, like it's deeply instinctual, intuitive. It's so splenic. Like you have to trust your instincts with this one. And on top of that, like I have a splenic generator. Now I have to paraphrase, whatever. I got to make sure those of you who are listening to this hear me right. A splenic generator never means that their spleen is their authority. You can't have the spleen as the authority for a sacral being. But when you have either the channel of power or when you have the channel of preservation, you do have a direct connection from the spleen to the sacral center. And you can have generators that just have those channels, like just spleen to sacral, and that is a pure splenic generator. Now, this one's not a pure splenic generator, but the spleen is the awareness center that is feeding the sacral center. And so the quality of like instinctual alertness, can I trust this, is huge, especially when I look at the fact that their north node is 57.1. I've got a 57.2, a 57.1. We've got 57 multiple times here. Yeah, lots of big one themes coming out. Okay, so when they go into their right environment, we've got a passive kitchens environment. This is a dry kitchens environment. This is someone who prefers not a ton of humidity in their environment. This is someone who ideally, like, I could look at the outer, like, oh, they want to live in a more dry climate. But that's not even true. Like, they could live in Seattle, but guaranteed they've got like their windows closed and their furnace on. And what are they called? I honestly, I want to say that they're called a hydrometer because I would love if it's actually that easy. Hydrometer. Pretty sure it's a hydrometer. Anyway, if you put some, is it barometer? Oh my goodness. If you put the thing in your house that measures humidity, it's so interesting. I'll be like, left people like humidity, right people like dryness. And then people will argue and they'll be like, no, I like wet or dry or whatever. And I'd be like, go read your hydrometer and give me the actual rating on it so that I can see your stats, not just your opinion. I want to know the stats for this one. How dry do you like your house? How dry do you like your place? And really, what kitchens represents is alchemy, diversity, transformations. If there's no alchemy, if there's no diversity, if you're living in a place that's vanilla, basic, like if you're living in a place that's kind of boring, kind of singular, kind of the same stuff all the time, it's not going to go well for you. What are you supposed to see when you're in your right environment? Survival view. And it has a quality of action sense behind it, which means when you're seeing correctly, you know what to take action on. There's a focus. You focus on the right thing with a quality of action behind it. And from there, we go up into, do we actually become outer authority? Is your mind oriented the right way? So I've got a left strategic mind. It's got a third color motivation. So I've got desire motivation with a second tone behind it, which means I've got desire motivation with uncertainty sense. And so when I'm kind of putting this with the fifth line profile, it's like I've got this fifth line here, right? So I'm meeting the heretic. I'm meeting the person who wants to give me the uncomfortable, practical truth. And behind that, there's this desire, as in when her outer authority is correct, there's this quality in her in being able to lead people to where she thinks is best for them. It's quality of like, I want to lead you, I desire to lead you. But then that left tone with it, the second tone is uncertainty sense. And so, no matter what, there's kind of like a quality of hesitation behind it all. But part of what I'm saying here is like, if this person is getting to a quality of like, I want it, I desire to take them this way, I think, like, yeah, that feels pretty accurate for desire with uncertainty sense. But honestly, don't even really focus on pairing the desire with the uncertainty sense. Focus on pairing the uncertainty sense with the strategic mind, because those are the two things that actually go together. And a strategic mind is here to take advantage of the environment, not abuse, not take advantage in a negative way, but take advantage as in find the advancement. The left mind will always find a way to advance within the environment. Now, there's a quality to here of the like the uncertainty sense. But if you were to put that over on the cognition side, that would be taste cognition. And so the uncertainty sense has a quality of taste to it of like, huh, huh, huh. Like, and taste is breathing in, like, smell is smelling, taste is breathing. And so, like, there is a quality of breath work to an uncertainty sense, which is so weird because it kind of want to takes me into almost want to go into meditation sense, but I don't. I'm not actually saying breath work for uncertainty sense. I'm saying that there is a link between uncertainty sense and taste cognition. And it's kind of about like taste is a very focused cognition for me. It's like hop, 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 hop. I grabbed the thing. I tasted it. Yep, that's the thing that I want. And so like when I suss that out with the uncertainty sense, it's kind of like my strategic mind is like what to organize, what to do, what's the plan, what's the sequence, what's the, and so it's kind of like hop, hop, hop. That's the thing. It's not that it stays uncertainty sense. It's like unsure, unsure, unsure. That's the one. I got it. Like I can taste it. Like a ooh, like a there's a knowing, there's a genius, there's a gift. Okay, that was fun. I am so blinded, but honestly, I think that my mood has genuinely improved. I think I'm like bursting with vitamin D right now. Um, yeah. Okay. On to the next one. Oh, God, love the sun.